What's going on, everyone? Ottengroff here, back at it again with the Untrained ear. Today we are going to be looking at British indie rock band Wet Leg with their second studio album, Moisurizer. So, Moisurizer is a very interesting release this week. It features the full inclusion of Josh Mobaraki as a guitarist. You've got the bassist Ellis Durand and also the drummer Henry Holmes. They have transitioned to full-fledged members of the band. They came on during the tour and then have made the transition to actual members. Of course, you have the continuation of lead vocalist and also guitarist Rian Teasdale, who demonstrates across this album a strong mastery of vocal technique. I feel like she was really able to harness well written lyrics that really inflict emotion intricately alongside this vocal technique from track to track. And then laced alongside this, the awesome instrumentals and the vocal technique is the production measures of Dan Carey, who was also involved in the last project. Altogether, I think what you get is a very diverse project that's able to transition between a really nice spread of sounds within the indie and punk genres and really tap into, I think, some underutilized ideas sonically from history and come up with some really niche stuff that really distinguishes, I think, Wet Leg from a lot of the stuff that's come out this year. It's a really exciting album, and I'm looking forward to digging it apart right now. I want to start off talking about Liquid Eyes. I think the production on Liquid Eyes really complements the string work so effortlessly in this track. And what really emphasizes the whole aesthetic for me is the knowledge that when I was reading up on this album, I found out that it was recorded around like Halloween time. And so when they were going to set, they had kind of decorated it in the festive, like Halloween, like cobwebs style. And just like the mental image of that really kind of plays into like the sound of this track, I think. Where I kind of get like a mental image really vividly on this track in particular of them kind of jamming out with that aesthetic going on. And it's just a very vibey mental image for me. I also felt like Rian's vocals just they're very airy and complement the instrumental and the production aesthetic on this track particularly well. The lyrics are very mushy, and it just makes the whole piece really vibey and comfy. And I feel like, it's a very powerful album. And this piece in particular is just particularly dynamic to me. You're looking at a lot of strong tracks on this piece, but this one stands out to me as um, one of the more dynamic feels. So it's just an important one to talk to. In stark opposition to Liquid Eyes and immediately following it, you have Catch These Fists. This one, I can't, salute enough to the invigorating electric guitar. You've got the power drums, the thrumming bass. Rian is really impressive as she vocally dances around this track. She harnesses these awesome vocal tricks where she teases tension, she really brutalizes the chorus, she moshes the drama of the track. um she just really comes across as like a rebel with a cause. I think this track through and through is, sometimes a girl just wants a night out, and you can try and test that. But yeah, you can try her, and you're gonna find out what happens. And yeah, I really like the vibe. So yeah, there's another powerful one for me. So Monst 2 is probably my favorite track on the entire album. This track I could not be more impressed with. I think it's this very well written intellectual track lyrically. It features a ton of wordplay and double entendre using the French language. There's also some spelling tricks used. Sometimes they're used together. The percussion is addicting, and the production and the guitar work together and synchronize. So you get these like pacing guitar riffs, and then layered underneath to complement it, there's this static supporting synth. And I just want to emphasize with the guitar that I love every choice that was made with it. It's not overemphasized in the mix, despite how awesome it sounds. And oftentimes, when you have good electric guitar play, producers like to emphasize that by tuning it up in the mix, but it's not overtuned. It's balanced correctly. And if you tune in and like focus on it when you're listening, it's very zingy and it has this like awesome zest to it that just scratches all the best punk itch. So yeah, just so awesome with the guitar. And then of course, amidst all the cerebral lyricism, you have Rian slaying it vocally. I mean, this track through and through, it's just alt punk perfection. So enamored with it. Manche tu magnifique. C'est bon. The other one I wanted to highlight is Pokemon. This track is super interesting to me and also impressive. The production features this nostalgic 90s synth, which, of course, with a title like that, why wouldn't you? And it's used to accent these occasional electric guitar chords that pace the track. It's all of these elements are kind of slow, which is used as a contrasting element for the high paced drums that rush over the entire duration of the track. And all of this collaborates to make this overall aesthetic of this progressive 90s alt rock vibe that's like campy, like alt rock pop. And what's so awesome about that is I feel like Wet Leg with this track really revitalizes the sound and makes it their own. And this is a sound that is very dangerous to use in the modern pop sphere because it's a sound that very easily can sound corny right now. Because this track like sound came at the tail end of the 80s, and it was very niche at the time and very quickly transitioned out of popular favor and did not like age well as it sat at the time. And the tracks that were in this light are very corny sounding now. So to pull this off and make it sound cool and make it sound alt and make it sound like interesting and enticing in the way that they managed to pull it off is so impressive and so exciting for ways that you can take this sound and make it interesting. It gives me a lot of the ideas of like Hemlock Spring and what she's doing with some of the sounds she's coming out with these days. So this was a really cool track to me, and it makes me very excited about Wet Leg and some of the ideas that they have right now. So had to talk on this one as well. Really impressive track. So I do have criticism on this album, and it's via the song Don't Speak, which I found to be more of a messy track. I think my issue comes down to Rian's vocals, which either were a little too airy or were produced a little too quiet in the mix. I think the problem is compounded by the decision for the guitar mixing to be a little more loose and messy sounding, which also is a production choice that is not consistent with the tone of the rest of the album. Don't get me wrong, this was a choice for the guitar that was contrasting to a lot of what common production decisions are for indie and punk guitar mixing. It's something that I think has distinguished Wet Leg from their contemporaries in the genre at the moment. And it's been a good choice, I feel like, for this album and for this band filled with talented musicians and a talented producer to make this decision because they're stronger for it. and I think their sound is dynamic because of this. But when you decide to not make that choice for a track, whether to prove maybe that you can do that or to just have another kind of diverse nod on the album spread, I'm not sure why they made the decision, but when you make that kind of a decision, you have to make sure, especially when you have a lead singer like Rian who has amazing vocals and has such powerful lyricism, that it's emphasized in your mix, because I was suffering wanting to know what she was saying in the track. So yeah, I just think they kind of took the L from a production standpoint on this piece, but you know, it's a head scratcher, and ultimately it was just really the chorus that suffered. There were other parts of the track that were fine. It's the one like track on the album. So yeah, overall I think that this was definitely a super solid album. I felt like it was just masterful in every phase of its creation, from production to instrumentals, vocals, lyricism. I mean, this album really has it all. I think that it takes risks. Wet Leg explored so many different sounds, vintage styles that haven't been retread in so long. And not only did they take these and make them their own, but they also managed to have this definitive sound that made them dynamic amidst all of it. And I just came away feeling so excited for the future of what this band can do. Knowing that they are going to build on this, that there are so many talented musicians involved in this project, and they have a great producer to boot. To me, I couldn't walk away with a baseless rating of anything below an encouraging 8.